little things. So many little things. So many. So I'm gonna go live here, and then I am going. Hi. And then I'm gonna invite you. Am I on yours?
Yeah, it's live on YouTube.
Oh God, this is so daunting. How do you do this every week?
Oh, I lose my mind every week.
Every week. Oh, here's some people. Oh my God. Hi, peoples. I just want to give Sean all the props here because he's the one that made this technically possible to go live on all these different platforms at the same time. Oh, yeah. Give me fire. We need fire. We need all the hearts and fire. And I'm going to invite him and we're going to hope and pray there is no delay. Oh, oh, and look, you're already on it, Sean.
I don't know.
You're already on it. Ooh, contents have been sent to a third party. Hi, Robert. I wish I could take credit for any of this technical crap, but this is all Sean. And it's insane what he just did. Insane. Well, I'm going to let people come on a little while, and I'm going to let Sean. Wait, did you get my invite?
Oh, wait.
Isn't this fun? Yes. This is how you do it in 2025. I don't know. I have to give the artist I'm helping a lot of credit because when I first got on the scene doing this, there he is. He's joining me. It's so hard. You know what? People need to know because I already got questions. People want to ask questions. Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. Oh, but you know what? It's not that bad. The delay. Or I don't hear a delay. This is incredible. We're on YouTube right now. Oh, thanks, Apple. Facebook and Instagram. Hold it. Are we on Twitch? We're on.
I don't have us on Twitch, but I have us on.
There's the delay. Stand by.
Yeah, we're on both of the YouTubes and then both the Facebook, yours and mine, and then both of our Instagrams. But to anybody on Instagram, the sound should be better on the YouTube or the Facebook.
Yes, we should tell you this. The sound will be better on YouTube because, I mean, everything is very loud. How is everybody doing? I have to say hi to all these people. We do work together. It's been a little bit. And Sean is in my pro track here where I am helping people that are either pro or people that, wow, this is really funny. It really mimics, I guess I talk a lot with my hands, and this is Apple's way of making fun of me. I'm gonna sit on it. Being an artist in 2025 is insane. 2024 it was insane. In 2020 it was insane. When I first started, which now I call it some support living artists music group, because I'm teaching people to sing and write songs and play piano, that I've been in the record business since I moved here and got my first deal in 2001, and it's been and most people only look at the people that are hugely household names, right? There's a lot of other people in music that make art that may not have had the stars align for them just yet to become a household name. And just to remind everybody, you don't necessarily have to have talent to make it in the music business, right, Sean? But this is for the people that want to develop their talent. And when I meet somebody like Sean, who's incredible, it just lights a fire and makes me want to help more. So I don't remember when I started calling it ProTrack, but it was after we started working together. I just started getting a lot of artists that had listened to my records that were already accomplished singer-songwriters and doing it professionally, like Sean. And he's tremendous. He's an engineer. He's a mixer. He's a songwriter. He's a live musician. He's a producer. And he can get all these cameras working all at the same time. I mean, and where I came in was artist development, some show opportunities in front of my friends that are still doing this in the business and forging right ahead. structural kind of remote production where I didn't necessarily play or sing on everything, but I gave him some ideas, right? And that's developed his songwriting even more because he's already so talented. Like for me, I had the opportunity when I first moved out here to write with everybody and their mother. Well, maybe not their mother, but I wrote with a lot of amazing Grammy Award winning songwriters that have been doing it for a long time. And to be able to impart that into someone like Sean has been such a pleasure. And I don't want to talk everybody's ear off because this is about, we both just released singles, right? I'm going to keep your picture big on there right now because you're going to play first. And it's about you. We both just released singles, and we thought it would be cool to see what would happen if we kind of did it at the same time. And we did similar kind of marketing stuff, but he did a lot more than I did because I just wanted to see what was going to happen in tandem of how we set things up. And I mean, he's gotten quite a good push on Spotify, and he's getting real traction, and he's not buying fans and he's not buying followers. Like, I know that followers are a thing, but it does not translate into a music career. Not for everybody. Because I know people that have tons of followers that can't sell a ticket to save their life. And I know people that have not a lot of followers that can still do business. So I think there's a need for what I'm doing, for sure. And there's a lot of muck to push through because a lot of people cheat, and I'm just going to say it. And if you cheat, sign up, and I can teach you how not to. But a lot of people don't sing their own shit. A lot of people do everything through a robot. A lot of people are now relying on, not everybody, but a lot of newer artists are relying on AI. There's more and more apps about, want to just be a rock star? Here, sing through your phone, and all of a sudden you sound amazing. Then it eliminates the process. There's something in, and this is not very romantic, but it kind of is. Do you think there's something in the struggle of what we're doing?
Yeah, I think it finds its way in the music, and I think a lot of the best music is about some kind of struggle. I mean, like I love you, you love me. It's good for like a kid song, but I don't think most adults want to hear that.
Also, too, it's really hard to write a happy song, I think, and do it well. You know, that's just happy. I mean, Pharrell did it pretty well. That's okay. Even Bjork, who I always bring up, like, she has a couple happy songs, but I mean, hers is called Violently Happy, which that's more my speed. But I want to talk about you, and just, I want to thank you, by the way, for setting all this up for both of us to perform, because I really wanted to showcase you, because I love working with you. It's been a few years now. I'm definitely, whenever I can get myself into a position where I'm going to be touring again, which hopefully will be this summer, I would love to have you play with me, because I think you're incredible. You already have fans. You already have people that follow you around. You have people that reach out to me that want to work with me because I'm working with Sean. So that is always a good sign. It's very difficult to find artists that are... There's plenty of artists that are self-motivated to splash pictures of their hot selves and a snippet of a cover, but it's very difficult, at least in my experience, to find artists that are willing to put in the hard work to get better at their craft. Are we okay?
Yeah. So there are comments about an echo, maybe on your end. So maybe just check the setting. Know that right before we went live, you tried the music for artists. Maybe do the other one until you sing.
Let me try this. How's that? Check one. Is that better?
Maybe?
It might be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But we can just try it. I mean, I think as long as we're not talking when each other are playing, then it should be fine. The other thing is, I think on the Instagram, your camera's not on. I don't see you on the Instagram.
You don't? I see myself.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just...
You don't see me? I see you on Instagram. What should I do?
Do you see both of us on the Instagram?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe my phone's messed up.
Well, I think you've got a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
So much happening. There's YouTube. I mean, I should look at YouTube. I mean, there's Facebook. You would think my mom and dad would be on there right now.
Well, the YouTube and the Facebook are working, so if anybody wants to be like
Follow us over
acknowledged on
there.
those, you can just type something in the chat. Like I see Steve, I see Live Music. Those are all regulars on my YouTube. So, hi guys, thanks for tuning in.
I have to thank my people for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Do you guys want to follow? I am not even looking at YouTube. Should I look at YouTube?
No, you don't have to. You get the feed. The feed that you're seeing is the feed for everything. Robert says that your Instagram is working good. So thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Always. I really need you to come out for this recital, Robert. I'm just going to say it now, and then I'm not going to say a word. Okay. But back to you. I wanted to ask you a few questions just to get everybody familiar with you. We talked about it. I wanted to talk about a day in the life, but when did you start playing? When did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. When I started. So, it's tricky because like I grew up in a musical family, so we had a piano around. I was probably about 4 years old when my older sister was taking piano lessons and she hated it, and like her teacher was named Gary, and they would have their lesson and they would leave, and then when they leave, I'd go and play the piano. But then I guess I was serious about learning it when I was maybe 10 years old. So, I have been playing since I was a kid, but it's all been self-taught. I don't have formal training.
Well, you do now.
Yes. And I recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not formally trained on piano. I cheated the whole way. I mean, I play by ear. Reading music is hard for me. I am dyslexic, and it's just a lot to read the grand staff. It is. When you can play faster than you can read it after you hear it, it really is. I think it's good though, because both my parents are monster sight readers and they're musicians and they don't really compose. I don't know a lot of people in the business that do both. Sasha does. He plays on The Voice. He reads and he plays by ear. But that's the only one I know. Chris Kapika, maybe? Personally. The rest is just the ears. I have a whole list of stuff I wanted to ask you. But what do you think now? Like, when did you decide you actually wanted to go pro? Like, you got in touch with me. You're like, okay, I'm going to get serious. I'm going to start giving Charlotte Martin some of my money and figure out what. I remember he emailed me and he's like, I'll never forget it. Do I have a record here? That was the email.
That's the fine. Yeah. So, I guess when I really started taking being a professional musician seriously was so we had that little shutdown era, the pandemic, and I had been working in restaurants and bars and trying to do music on the side, and then we had to stay inside, and so I started a live stream every day, and people would tune in, and from there, once we were able to like leave our houses again, I realized I didn't really want to deal with the stress of the restaurant industry. So I said, I guess now's as good a time as any to really just give the music thing a shot. So I started busking in the street with my harp. And from there, I just kind of got lucky. Some old music contacts from, before the pandemic asked me to a guy named Steve Rogers, who's a good friend of mine. He asked me to play in his band for his album release that was just starting, and then more bands started working with me, and then I was able to pick up piano bar gigs. So I was just kind of able to string together a bunch of different regular music gigs, and then I've been using that to supplement my original music. And so when I had enough songs where I really wanted to start releasing was when I contacted you, Charlotte, because I have been such an admirer of your work. It's been a big influence on me, and so I was like, if somebody's going to help me get this record together, it's going to be her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I even got the hearts. Woo! Yes, do it again. Do it again. ADD, flashy light over there. What? Yeah, and you were just so direct, which I appreciated. Do I have a record here? And I started listening, and I'm like, wow. I mean, there were some things in your songwriting I wanted you to explore, what you're doing now. Harmonic tension.
Yeah, we did a lot of reharmonization on one song, Turn the Lights Out, which is released now. we changed the first chorus dramatically, was your idea. And it was a really light bulb moment because, I don't know if there's a lot of music nerds, but basically, Charlotte said, I was ending the verse on an F, and she said, just stay on the F. And I was like, I'm going to stay on the same chord for the chorus. She's like, yeah, and it's going to be good. And you were totally right.
Wow, you have such a good memory.
Well, it was a big, a light bulb moment for me. I'd
Yeah.
never tried something like that in a song.
Oh yeah. There's so many ways to work a song, right? And I think for me now, and you and I have we have a co-write, we'll do more. You covered my song Inch, which was incredible. And I got to sing on that. I like your version better than mine, just for the record. Sorry, I do. I love it. It's way more emotional and heart-wrenching. But the reason I'm doing this for people, and not a lot of people, because it's really hard to do. It was hard to do it 20 years ago when I moved out here. And I got lucky, but I don't know about luck. I mean, yes, there is a bit of luck. There is a bit of stars aligning, but I always tell people no one sees you in your studio rehearsing, recording, getting ready for the opportunities. Same thing with me. When I moved out to LA to try to get signed, I didn't go anywhere for a year. I stayed in my apartment, practicing, teaching myself to write songs, or I went to a coffee shop because I would hyperventilate driving around Los Angeles. And now, all these years later, deals, managers, tours, things that are insane, things that are glorious, things that are, it's a heartbreaking, exhilarating, unbelievable roller coaster. But I didn't get into the music business to be in the music business. I wanted to figure out how I could continue to make music for the rest of my life as a career, because I don't know how to do anything else. Clearly, you set this up. Like, I really don't. I don't. And I don't want to. I am obsessed, and I never stopped. Have I had burnout? Sure. But I realized later that my burnout, do you ever get burnout?
It's funny for me, I would feel burnt out on music. I thought it would be the opposite. Like now where I'm just doing music every day, I actually feel less burnt out about music than when I was like, working like a really hard job that was really draining emotionally, and then trying to come home and make music. That was I would feel a lot more burnout. Like now it's just like, music is just like a language, I just do it every day. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I watched, I saw a meme the other day. Someone said, just work on your music every day. Well, yeah, every day, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's practicing, even if it's doing something for your career, because I think it's the pursuit of your art, and no one will sound like you. I don't care if people, as you develop and get bigger and get more fans, and I hope we're still working together, but as that happens, you have to really tune out a lot of voices, because people love to compare and rip you down in the press. Oh yeah, I've had a few. I've sent them to you. I mean, when the Boston Globe called me cute as a dumpling next to Tori Amos, I mean, it was demoralizing. And I love Tori Amos. Like, why is it a bad thing that I was influenced by one? She wasn't the only one, but one of my favorite artists. And I realized people are not always nice. And that is the kind of stuff that burnt me out. How many tickets are we going to sell? What's the guarantee for that? How come I didn't get on that station? You get caught up in, because you have to do it. And it's incredibly difficult because there's a lot of no's until you get one yes. And it's funny, you find yourself in that position no matter how big you get, unless, you're Bono. But for a real artist, and he's a real artist, but until you get to the godlike level where you just call the shots, you always have to keep yourself in check on, okay, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Where will I compromise? Where's my boundary? Mine in 2004 was I wasn't going to show my tits in a commercial. Herbal Essence. It was so much money. My manager called me crying, do it, do it, do it. And I couldn't, because the song was about losing a baby. And now I probably should have taken the money. But for little things like that, where now, I mean, it's a whole thing. Someone asked me, how much do you make on a staging? I think I told you. Do you know how much you could make doing other kinds of videos? I'm like, well, yes, but unless I can play piano in it, I'm not that interested. Sorry. But you know what I mean? We're competing against, it's insane how many people are doing this, which tells you lots of people love music. What do you think separates, okay, I'm gonna ask you a Noah Michelson question. Why do you think people should listen to you? I'm sorry, I didn't plan this one. It's just, I'm getting inspired. And I'm going.
I mean, I think what I focus on in music, the thing that I sort of like to think of is this idea of like handmade music. Just because and I know that sounds kind of strange, but what I mean by it is that, you know, music with like a lot of things with technology has become, there's more and more humanity stripped out of it. And so what I focus on in my recordings and what I focus on with my live show, you know, is there's no AI, there's no auto-tune. If I sing a little flat, I sing a little flat. Because for me, the humanity comes first. And so I think that actually is, I think it definitely exists. There are plenty of artists out there that I really enjoy their work, and I think they're doing that, and I want to be part of that. But I think that it's becoming more rare, because I mean, now you can literally just go on a website and say, you know, make me a song that sounds like this artist and is about this, and you'll get like this AI music thing, and that thing is only going to get better at plagiarizing former artists, you know, and you know, literally stealing
Human art
from music. So I think what I present, and you too, I think it's really evident in artists that perform live a lot. You know, I think what we present is, you know, real music made by real people. You know, it's like the difference between, you know, something that was manufactured in some factory versus something that was made by a person, you know, down the street.
Yeah, because the thing about like when you're a surgeon, right? No one wants me to be a surgeon. Nope, no one wants me to be an accountant. No one wants me to do those jobs. I can't do those jobs. There are people, and I think if someone is not born with innate talent and they work hard, I told you this, they can get there without robots. Maybe not superstardom, but they can learn to sing, they can learn to love their voice, they can learn to write a song. What the robots are doing is taking the mystery and the magic out of what you and I say, dream, how we process the world, right? As professional artists. And I've been doing this 25 years. To me, it's the mystery. When Peter Gabriel put out So, you know, guys, like there, or Kate Bush put out Hounds of Love, or Tori put out Under the Pink, or Nine Inch Nails put out The Downward Spiral. All of these people, if you take their gadgets away and you can listen to them on a piano or a guitar, you can strip it down. Remember, I wrote Carol Kane. She told me a good song is a good song, and it comes down to the good song too. If you can strip all the crap out, now it's apps and everybody AI doing it for you, and you can have that song resonate live, which you're going to play soon, on a keyboard or piano or guitar, and it still touches people and grabs people. Because when I was coming up in the scene on RCA, I toured on a keyboard and a microphone. There was no auto tune. I had one sound person. I either was in an RV, a plane, not an RV, that's what I want to do, a van, an SUV, a plane, a tour bus, and I got my little setup. That's it. And if I blew it, then I did not do well that night. But at least it was me. You know, and I'm not anti-AI. I really am not. I'm very anti-AI in art because I don't believe everybody, I think everybody could do art, but I don't believe everyone should do it professionally.
Yeah, well, I find with AI, I think there's serious concerns about how it's even coming up with these things. I mean, I'm not a computer person, but you know, I know like visual artists in the field. It's like these things are clearly taking references from people's existing work. You know, so I think that there's just ethical concerns with AI in the creative spaces.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about, I have no comment like about visuals and videos and stuff, because I've seen it do some crazy cool stuff. Video wise, I mean, CGI has been around for a long time. I love animation and all that stuff. I'm just talking about if someone's ripping off Phoebe Bridgers or me or you. Like one time I put in, give me a song that sounds like Charlotte Martin, and I lost my shit. I lost my shit. It was very good. And it was very close, and it was not me. It was almost like mockery. And I only know about music, so that's why I'm talking about it. If you could give advice, I know we didn't talk about any of these. If you could give advice, I wrote more when we were done, to a brand new musician who isn't, because you're supporting yourself doing this. I'm gonna help you, and I think you're gonna be huge. But if you were talking to someone just starting right now in 2025, what would your best advice?
Oh, geez, I mean, is this somebody who is just, they want to do music, or that like they want to get paid for music? Because I think they're
Well,
different questions.
They do their own. Let's say they do their own. They're not cheating. They learn to sing, they learn to play, they write their own songs, they're going through it. You have to write 100 bad songs, remember that whole thing to get to the good stuff? That's the fun part, by the way. What would your advice be?
I mean, I think, yeah, well, that's a good point. Definitely what's really important is, you know, learning to enjoy the process. Like, it's going back to what you're talking about, the struggle of it, you know, like you have to kind of be in a good place, even if you're kind of stuck in a song and maybe you need to walk away from whatever your instrument is and think about how to problem solve like whatever piece you're working on. But you know, like everything is a process and it's difficult. So like for me, I think the two number one things is if you want to do music, you just do it every day. You do it as often as you can because you'll only get better. You know, one of the biggest surprises I had was when I started taking gigs that I wasn't super excited about. You know, doing like a 4-hour piano bar gig was very intimidating to me, and I would have to, you know, learn a bunch of songs that, you know, maybe I liked them, maybe I didn't, but I had to play them. So I thought that it was gonna make me like music less because, you know, I'd be associating it with hard work, and B, make me feel burned out. But really all that's happened was because I do it so much, I just get better at it.
Yeah.
So the main advice I would give to anybody with music is to just keep doing it every day. And you'll be shocked at how much better you get within, you know, 6 months. Like even if it's just like 15 minutes, you know, just like people ask me about what kind of instrument I should play. I say you just, whatever instrument you can play for 10 minutes, be terrible and say, you know what, I still want to come back tomorrow and play it. I just, persistence, right? Even professionally, right? If you want to get gigs, you just kind of have to keep going. People have to know that you're not going to disappear. Like you won't be ignored.
I also think like the music has to be good. The music, and that's a whole nother conversation. What makes it good? Blah, blah, blah. All I can tell you is if it's moving you or moving me as the artist, I look at songs now as like the baby over there that needs the butt wiped and the snot off of it once it's written. There's no ego about it. It's like, how do I look at you and clean you up? How do I make you incredible? You know, and that takes the like, oh, well, everything I do is great. No, it's a fine balance, right?
Yeah, I think ego is not a great ingredient in the creative recipe.
No, it's terrible. It literally hinders the art.
Yeah. I think even because like when I was younger, I used to always be very self-conscious about an audience. So I would try and think like, oh, maybe somebody might be upset about this line. I mean, I don't really, you know, I don't really use expletives or anything, you know, but just even the idea of thinking about how you'll be perceived for creating a piece of art is a kind of a recipe for disaster. You know, it's going to put you in on the wrong path.
Liz Fair told me one time when I opened for her a while ago on the Chicks with Attitude tour, she's like, don't read. I had a really bad review, and I hadn't even played in the city yet. They just didn't like my voice. She's like, don't read your reviews unless they're good. And I don't know, I read them all, but again, now I'm older and I've I've had both, and you can't win them all. But if your eye is on, you're supposed to pick up that instrument that you're about to and communicate, and it's gonna make me sob, get ready to sob. If you can pick up your instrument when no one's looking and make art without anyone giving a shit, which is what I had done over and over and over, I still get fulfillment out of that, and you get fulfillment out of getting better as a singer and better as a pianist and better as a songwriter and better as a performer. And it translates to all lessons of life. I mean, even getting this show together. I posted something recently like of playing on a sidewalk on a little Casio for an audience. I've had shows where the PAs didn't work. I've had shows where my sound guy had to make monitors into PAs. Hi, Michigan. And I'm like, we got to do it. Like, we got to do it or you don't get paid. You learn all these life skills that actually are very humbling and empowering at the same time. And I want you to tell people about this song because it is my favorite song that you've ever like so far. There's gonna be more.
So this song is called Sand and Sea. I'm really happy with how it's been received so far. It was I think that my mind sometimes I like to express sort of darker themes, and this has been the darkest one that I've released of the new group of songs. Basically, my mind went to a space where I wanted to try and take the idea of an image of two things that most people would think like these things really belong together, and make them feel like they're actually really bad for each other. Because I think the sort of the human relationship theme that I was working on was kind of like the idea of like codependence maybe, but and how like maybe you can see something and think that this is that something that seems like it's made for you is actually something that's not working for you, and it's a mutual thing. So that's why that's how the idea came to be. And I think I'm really proud of the chorus lines because even though it's sort of intentional, a lot of people, I need to put out an official lyric video, but so people think that I keep singing like sad to see, but that's because the words, I try to play with language in a way where I think it's homophones. They're words that sound similar but have different meanings. So like,
it's a big word, Sean.
I'm probably using it wrong, but so the word sea appears in the chorus a lot, but sometimes it means like the sea that's full of water or a sea that you see, and shore is used a lot because sometimes it's the sand and sometimes it means like shore, like a feeling that I'm sure. So I really like the wordplay in it, and I like, I don't know, I'm very proud of it. This was one of the songs where I had originally done the whole song pretty much in major. And after working with Charlotte for a month or two, I was like, let's reharmonize this one a little bit. And so I think that your influence is pretty apparent in the chorus when I'm moving to the minor and singing on the seven and all these math number nerd things.
It's brilliant. Brilliant. I'm so excited to hear you play this. Do I need to do anything to not interrupt it? Do I need to mute anything or touch anything?
I would just, maybe just mute your audio just to be safe. And then when I finish, you can unmute. I think that would be the safest way to do this. All right, let me turn on my cameras.
You're in for a treat. This is such a treat. So proud of all the people I'm working with. Really, truly. Okay, I'm muting myself, darling.
All right. So this is my final warning to anybody on Instagram. I'm so happy you are tuning in, hanging out with me and Charlotte. But because Charlotte's going to sing later, and so the best sound is on YouTube and Facebook right now. All right. Okay. We've all been forewarned. All right. This song is called Sand and Sea. the sea, I'm the shore. Next time you go, take a little more from me, my favorite little thing. Pick your pearls, toss your trash on my beach. 'Cause who am I when you're not here? And you pulled away to the other hemisphere. I can't fill in the gaps. Was there something there? Will you bring it back? Now it's so sad to see you're on my shore. Yeah, it's so sad to see me sure we've been here before. And it's so sad to see you leave, watch you go. And it's so sad to see me wave my hand, wave goodbye, or wave you down, watch you cry, or watch you drown. You always said you were stronger than me. If I'm being honest, I don't disagree. My weakness still has worth. If you've no ships to sink, wouldn't you be so bored? Now it's so sad to see you on my shore. Yeah, it's so sad to see me sure we've been here before. And it's so sad to see you leave, watch you go. And it's so sad to see me wave my hand, wave goodbye, wave you down, watch you cry, or watch you drown. I'm watching you drown, I'm watching you drown. Silent as you sink beneath the sound. Caught up in Caribbean circling now, and there's no one around to see the end but me, your deadly friend, your dearest enemy. Now it's so sad to see this hand, the sea. Now it's so sad to see this hand, the sea.
Very good. It's dumb. You're so good. You're so good.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Let it delay. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. But you know what? He's worked at it. I work at it. I still work at it. And there's something that happens when you practice a lot. You don't have to look at the piano that much. You know. I still get nervous. Like I'm nervous right now. But it's a good nervous. It's like okay, I get to try to not I get to try to get better at the last time I did something, you know, that was incredible. And that song, I don't know, that was one of the first I got into. I mean, I'm a fan of yours now because it started with that song. So if you have not heard it, please go stream it. It's everywhere. It's called Sand and Sea. And I think Sean should start a Patreon because he needs support. I mean, I have one. So I'm pushing him tonight. That's part of what I'm doing here. I think he deserves it. I think he works his ass off and his art is getting better. And we're going to see a lot from him and hear a lot from him. And I have other artists too. Right now, tonight's about him. So, and I just want to thank you all for coming and listening to us chat about what we do all day. I get a lot of questions in interviews, and I'll get random questions, you know, through the websites and things like that, or through DMs. But once I get enough of them, I like to show people what it's like. Because I get a lot of, can I do this? Well, he's actually doing it. You're actually doing it. I'm doing it. And it's, but one, you have to be very great. But it is music, the pursuit of it, whether you're doing it professionally or not, the pursuit of it is wild and better than drugs, better than most things in the real world, as I call it. When I step into my studio, it's like my realm. That's why I don't leave it much. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah, no, I like being in my studio. I mean, I like being with my instruments. I get along with them. It's one of the main things that um, I really found I loved so much about the harp was, you know, even though most people look at it and don't think it's very portable, if you compare it to this guy right here, it's really portable because I don't love keyboards. I love having real instruments with wood that responds to you. So I have like probably an unhealthy emotional relationship with my instruments. But to piggyback on what you were saying about doing music, I think it's definitely, it's not for somebody who wants a predictable life. Like we were just talking before, and I told Charlotte that I ate my dinner at 3 in the morning last night to me, but today to most people, because you know, it's Saturday. I had a few gigs right in a row, and I had to go right from a night gig in a church to my 2 a.m. piano bar gig, and you know, that's just you kind of grow to love it. You know, just feeling like you're doing your own thing, and I think that feeling of independence is a big part of sort of being a working musician.
It is. It can be somewhat lonely, but I don't regret any of it, and I'm still doing it. And I guess I should still do it so everyone can go have dinner, right?
Yeah, and at least now you can make friends with people on the other side of the country with Zoom, like us.
Right? That's what I'm doing. Thank you, Sean.
So,
Um,
Charlotte, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about your release because I mean, we released within one day of each other, and I just realized that you know my song is called Sand and Sea, and yours is Sun Moon. So it's kind of funny because we didn't plan that.
I've always had nature, which sounds Enya, and I think Enya is brilliant, by the way. I do. I don't care what anyone says. God almighty. She has a song called On Your Shore, by the way. Didn't know that till later. I the Sun and Moon song was one of the few because a lot of people that know what I'm doing with this next record. I'm featuring some of my songwriting students and pro track people that I developed their songwriting with. I'm putting those on an album, but this particular one I wrote by myself. I don't write love songs often, but it's a love song, and love is hard. That's all I can say. That's all I'm gonna say. Love is hard. But there's all kinds, and we won't get into the part where I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna tell you that the song Sun and Moon, and actually, it was a commission at first, because I'll have people, I do a service where sometimes I'm hired to write and produce and compose a song for an event. I've been doing that for a while, since I opened the school. And this one I wrote for a lovely guy named Christopher. And he gave me some of his ideas and his influences. So it really did steer how I wrote it. But later, as I was tweaking it, especially for release, I changed some of the lyrics and kind of repurposed it to break my own heart. It's kind of, you know, your sand and sea thing, the sun and moon. I don't know, I've been kind of obsessing on outer space for the past 5-6 years. Actually longer. Maybe Water Breaks Stone when I wrote Gravity and was starting to think about things bigger than myself. Movies like Gravity, Arrival, Interstellar were coming out. And it impacted me because some days I feel when I'm in this room making art, it's like I'm a little girl in California floating on a rock in the middle of space. Where sometimes when I am writing, and I write on demand for people, they give me money and I have to finish it. That's half my job, right? They want a song, whether it's a co-write, whether it's for a TV show or whatever. I got to deliver it. Sometimes I don't even remember what I'm doing. I'll be in the moment writing and I'm like, what did I just do? So it makes you think about the bigger picture and where it comes from. And clearly I'm not an atheist and I won't go down that alley, but there's something. And that's also extremely humbling and makes me want to keep doing it. Because there's some kind of, music is powerful. It sucks right now that it's so cheap and cheapened by some people, but it doesn't take away the power. In film and every major life event, music is the most important thing for a lot of people. And if all I'm doing at my school and my production company, if all I'm doing is raising awareness that it's good to learn the craft as a human because it's a dying thing, then I've done something. You know, if I can watch someone be proud of their art the way I've been proud of mine and they did it themselves and I helped get them there, that for me, listen, I'll eat dinner in the bathtub at midnight every night if I have to, if I can get that from people, because it saved my life. So it still does. I say it all the time. It saves my life. Being able to do it saves my life. So I'll shut up and play, and then till the next one. We have a lot of planning to do, you and me. Unless you have.
No, well, I was just gonna say, let me mute before you start playing.
Okay. And
I'll join the chat with everybody in the chat.
I didn't do that. All right. It's unfortunate that this thing is in G flat. I had a drummer on Sun and Moon. I did not. I programmed the drums with my little fingers. And I think that's a wrap, everybody. So, thank you for talking to people in the chat. I never did
Can I
it.
just say, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to say to everybody, because we were doing the sound check, and I said this to Charlotte, but I think this is such a great example of, all the things we're talking about with music was, so, I've got mics and lights, and I think it's great, and I love doing it. But she was sound checking with just the piano. That's just the mic of her camera or something, and I was like, Charlotte, I can't believe how good that sounds, except that, the thing is, like, if the music is real and it's human, like, it sounds good through anything. I mean, that sounded amazing.
Oh God, thanks. Thank you. I mean, I would love to have a setup like yours.
You're just about there. We'll work on it. We'll work on it for another stream.
But thank you. Thank you. Because I practiced. I still practice. Not always. I can be naughty, but I practiced. So just thank you. Thanks for letting me work on your stuff. I think you're incredible. And I can't wait for the next one. And an album's coming, people. Get ready. An album's coming and a tour. It's time to get you beyond. It's great what you're doing regionally, but I'm thinking global for you. For sure.
Oh, yeah, only if you come along, though.
I'll come. Only if I can bring my lizard.
All right.
Can I bring the lizard? It's just comedy all day long with that thing. I can't even call her a thing. How rude of me. Chloe Banana now.
Mother of Dragons.
Mother of, that's it, right? I watched enough of that to know what that means. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for the support. Look for Sean's Patreon that I'm going to push him to do because I'm going to join it. Actually. Did you know that? Yeah, I'm going to join the Patreon. We have to set it up. And thank you for making incredible music. Keep it coming.
Same to you.
Coming. It's coming. I'll see you at your session soon, darling.
All right, I think I've got to sign us off. It's on my end. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been just amazing seeing all of your all your avatars and typing and all that.
It really does. We feel the love. We feel the love. So thank you.